Good evening. My name's Ryan. I represent Curiostic. I guess I'm the founder. I decided I want to start recording these videos of me working on my art. I think they're shit, but whatever. You know, people watch weird stuff. So I'll be working on my art. I'm working on this piece today right here. It's called, you're going to love this, it's called Cosmic Vagiene. I'll probably get into the story when it's done. But anyway, I'm going to be doing that, and then I'll probably be talking a little bit about relationships as I go. I've been chatting with a girl, and you know, as much as a long distance online connection can happen, it's been going really well with her. And you know, we'll probably end up seeing each other, but for whatever reason, this situation has brought up a lot of false ideas I have about relationships, things to look out for, you know, things that destroy a connection with someone and things that nurture a connection with someone. And as a person who's, you know, abnormally self-destructive, I've been writing the positive stuff down and also the destructive stuff down so that I can move away from that tendency I have. Because I do destroy lots of things. That's what I do. But I create, right? Like, is there really a difference between creation and destruction? Like, they're kind of the same. You know what I mean? So, stay tuned. We'll have this up on YouTube. We'll probably have it on my website, Curiostic.com, as well. And like I said, I'll be having little nuggets of insight and inspiration that I have while I'm painting. And I'm also going to be playing some, I don't know, we're just going to put it on Spotify. So I don't know, I might get hit for copyright. I don't know. I guess if I do, I'll fix it. But, you know, I'm playing it loud anyway. I'll be right back. Enjoy the show. Oh, bitch. I'm an extremely vain person, and I'm fat right now, so, you know, just notice I have guns and arms and muscles too. I'm going into more of a cut phase, but I just got done with the bulk. And I don't like people to think I'm like, you know, overweight all the time. It gets me.
See the face, 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 face. basement, bitch. You got that? Is that sinking in? Oh, can't stop me, bitch. Try and stop me.
One thing I want to mention, Curiostic, for me, is like a way of life that I'm inventing as I go. And a lot of it's about just bringing together ideas from different places that work to relieve suffering and improve positive aspects in a person's life, right? Like, so I'll go to the School of Life, which is in Europe. It's an atheist school of life. And I'll take good ideas they have from there, and I'll bring them into maybe a 12-step community, or like my own meditations, or the Bible, like whatever, right? So I bring those things in together, and hopefully people will be able to benefit from that. Like, that's my hope, especially in small towns like this, where they're really sheltered and they don't have any options in terms of spirituality. So that's one of my goals. So that's what Curiostic is. Set the tone a little bit for some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about as well. Is I am an addict of many, many things: chemicals, sex, love, like all kinds of stuff, money. Like, I've gone to the hospital for a lot of those things and just experienced a lot of suffering because of them, and they're all my fault, right? To a degree. We'll talk about fault later. Like, it's kind of useless, but so today there'll be like some overtones or undertones of Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, and more specifically just like the information they carry. I can't say I like the program itself or anything like that. Like, it's okay, but they give information that you can use to improve your life, and that's what I use 12 steps for. Alright? So some of the stuff I'll be talking about today will be around that. Alright? Alright.
Let's start with some tough love. Let's start with some tough love.
These are rusty razor blades.
What happens now?
This This is a hook blade. It's used when you install a roof, an asphalt roof on a house. And this is just a normal straight blade. Most of you have probably seen that. It comes in the carpenter's knife. I soak them in vinegar to get them to rust, because otherwise they look shiny like this, which I also use the shiny ones, but you know, you gotta have texture and whatnot. So I'm going to be putting these into Cosmic Vagiene.
Are you ready to play? Are you ready to play? Continue the game.
You're supposed to have a guard on here before you use it, so don't do what I'm doing. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't care if I get hurt. Plus, I can build a house from the ground up. Like, I've used these tools for decades. But you still get hurt. I did lose a piece of my finger.
And get busy.
I smoked a lot of weed one day, and then we went and worked on a big air conditioning unit, and, well, I lost part of my finger.
Everything happens for a reason. Just again.
Oh, hey, yeah. You know that girl I was talking about earlier? She's inspiration for the one all the way back. I'm not done, obviously, but you know, I think about her, her personality, things I like about her, stuff like that, and then let my emotions just kind of inspire me, I guess. And sometimes it's not her, it's what she triggers in me, like, I mean, she's blonde hair, blue eye, you know, and so was my high school sweetheart. And so my high school sweetheart's like, I kind of feel in a lot of ways like all the girls in my life were a rebound from her. Like I never really got over her until like last year. And, but being with this other person, you know, I get to look at in a more detailed way what behaviors did I contribute, you know, to the relationship 20 years ago that caused it to suffer and end. And there's the obvious ones like drug addiction and alcohol and, you know, cheating on her like 8 times, right? Like those are the easy ones. But like the other ones, like being still with her in the quiet, like being supportive of her when she was, you know, down and kind of in the state of an emotional need. I failed, you know, I really failed at those. I never acknowledged my fears with her in the relationship, so that's another failure. And in general, I just really didn't expose what was in my heart to her. Like we just kind of went through the motions, you know. And I mean, that's like the opposite of intimacy, you know? So when things got hard and we didn't have those skills of communication and honesty, you know, it's just done. And it's a high stress situation. Maybe someday I'll get into it, but it's such a unique situation, that relationship was, that if I talk about it and anyone from my hometown hears it, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's, you know, I want Trey to stay a little anonymous, you know what I mean? So, this thing's a piece of shit. Sometimes you gotta break it. You get a little boo-boo.
Can't stop me, bitch.
Oh, it's a big boo-boo. You see it? Big boo-boo. That's what we do with these. I guess the blood will just add to the color.
Stop me, bitch. Try and stop me.
I wrote some of those ideas down earlier. It's actually why I started doing the art. Because, like, what if I put art and then these inspirations together, you know? I thought it'd be cool. I haven't seen anyone do it. So I just put obsessive fantasy about another person is something that we really have to be, you know, cautious of. And by obsessive fantasy, I don't mean you're sitting there thinking about them 24/7, you know, full of anxiety and stuff about when you're going to be able to see them again. It's not what I'm talking about. Although that is a thing. I have experienced that in my 30s. It's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this delusional idea that this relationship will provide like this perfect path to happiness and warmth inside, like connection and everything, right? Like for some reason this relationship, it won't force me to face my past baggage, you know, childhood trauma, dysfunctional behavior I learned from my parents, emotional incest or anything like that. For whatever reason, this relationship is going to prevent the need for those things. That's a fantasy and it's delusional. The reality is, like a better way to look at it would be the counterexample. This person and I have good chemistry and seem to have the skills and willingness to learn more skills to make a solid emotional connection. We both will still need to face our patterns and problems and past feelings in this relationship, but we have the tools to triumph over them. To me, that's realistic. And I've never seen anyone in my life do that. I've never heard anyone, like, in my real life say things like that. Like, I had to go out and I had to search for them. And, you know, frankly, it's a fucking pain in the ass sometimes. Because there's a lot of pop psychologists that they just want to jerk you off and they don't let you get better. Like, they want you to stay sick so you keep buying the books, you know what I mean? And I don't want to fucking do that shit. So, like, those would be ideas that I would somehow incorporate into Curiostic and make, you know, like maybe like a step-by-step program to write those things down on paper and then also get with the person and work through them together as best as can, like a therapist, you know, but a therapist that actually wants to see you be free from your own suffering, right? Not a therapist that wants you to stay dependent on them. So, or a religion that wants you to stay dependent on them. So that's one idea. I'll be back with more. I just want to note, I'm talking about like romantic connections and shit while I'm putting razor blades in a fucking vagina. Maybe it'll help. Most of this music is dubstep from a guy called Midnight Tyrannosaurus. I'm pretty sure it's for people like a couple decades younger than me.
Sweet aroma of fear.
I don't care though. I like it.
Now you will understand why you fear the dark. This part never gets old.
Just wanted some of you to know, especially younger people.
Just you and me now.
It's not. I wouldn't necessarily call it a second clit, but on the bottom of a vagina, if you're into vagina, you can get a girl off by eating her out right there. She'll come if you do it right. Like you don't just have to stay at the top. Like you can go down to the bottom too. Thought maybe one of you would want to know that.
Never get the feeling you're not alone in the room. You're not. Shut it down. Mozambique.
two for the gun finger. The gun finger.
Let's do one more. Fuck, I've been doing this for an hour. So here's another thing, especially me, I grew up, I don't know, in a lacking environment. A lot of addiction, womanizing, dishonesty, passive aggressiveness, flat out aggression, and then, you know, some stickier stuff, we'll just call it that. The challenge, I think, with a lot of people, and this is for boys and girls, is that if you grow up in a situation like that, you become deprived of things emotionally and in your belief system, whether you're aware of it or not, right? Because if you're deprived of emotional connection when you're a toddler or a baby, that's going to create a belief system inside of you that's pre-verbal. So by the time you're able to think in your language, whatever that language is, you don't even know it's there anymore, right? And then you become an adult, and that belief system's driving you to pick people that'll, you know, reestablish that wound, right? Like keep it alive. Or like we try to pick people that nurture those things we think we have a discrepancy for, and it just turns into this giant shit show. At least all of mine have. So that's one of the things that I think needs to be brought to the surface and taught to people, is that nurturing a partner, being supportive, holding space with them, like those are all really good things. But there's going to come a time when the other person's love isn't going to help you. And, you know, there are mountains that need to be walked alone. Like, you know, not everyone can climb my own mountain, or you have to climb your own mountain. And so while we have that support system in, you know, our relationship and our connections, there's going to come a time where their love still leaves us feeling like anxiety or discomfort, or like maybe they're not doing enough to connect with us, like we blame them for it. The reality is, it's our shit to deal with. Like, that's our shit. Like, we have to look and find the love within us that's going to satisfy that discomfort we have. If we try to put our emotional needs on them, my experience is it's going to get toxic, you know? The relationship's going to get toxic. So, the other part of that is, let's say you have two people that are really mindful and self-aware, and they know a lot of this stuff, and they get to that point where it's like the person has to find their own inner resource for love and compassion and God, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That other person is going to have a triggering event too, because they're no longer able to parent the other person, right? Like, that's their dysfunction, is they want to fill the need in someone's discrepant, you know, like in their soul, because they don't want to look at the need in their own soul. So once one person starts climbing their mountain, the other person needs to climb theirs as well. And like, I think that's pretty solid and 100% accurate. The part I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty comfortable just based on, you know, life axiom and stuff, is that when both parties reach what they were looking for, you know, in their consciousness, their heart, their soul, God, whatever, and they come back down and they meet back with each other, that bond's going to be even stronger. And they're going to be able to do things that together, I think, that they couldn't have done before. Like, they're going to be able to withstand more hardship. And like, when they do come together and they do have peace and serenity, you know, it's going to get nice. It's going to be really, really nice. And you know what? I'll bet $1 that the sex life is going to go insane. Because my experience has been that when I meditate and I pray with someone on a regular basis, when it comes to sex, like, it's a game changer. You know? So I'm definitely going to be getting into that topic later on, but not right now. So that's it for now.
Such wonder.
I'm gonna let that dry. It's starting to look like this weird angel way it's flowing in.
Guys, here's the
Kind of
score.
cool.
Rule number 1. My way.
Just past an hour.
Way's a dead mortal way.
I got one more,
Right.
and then I'm hanging up, and I'll be back maybe tonight.
Federal Reserve Bank at 0830 hours. You'll notice it's not very well got. Here are your names. Mr.
This is something that came up last night when we were talking, and I wanted to fight it at first. I did, because I thought it was silly, but you know, I thought about it, and I think there's a lot of relevance to it. You know, last night we hung out for a while, a long time, on Zoom and talking and that kind of stuff, and meditating together.
Let's go to work.
And to me, it felt like a date, right? And so I brought that up, and she just didn't want to label it. And I was like, well, like, I got disappointed. And I had to ask myself, why am I disappointed? And that led to, like, when you say things like date, there comes all this cultural baggage with it. Like these ideas of what a date is supposed to be like. You know, we start getting into fairy tales, Disney stories, Brother Grimm, all that kind of stuff. We start getting into what the church taught us is appropriate for a date. We start attaching value to the word, like, oh, now I have a partner because we're in a date. Like, now I'm valuable because I have this connection, right, as a person. And that leads to toxicity. Like, for me, what really is important is if I have someone in my life that's close to me, they don't represent my value, but they do, you know, add to my life in a way that I have found no one else can, right? Like, that's why they're in my life. And hopefully the same for both of us, but there were definitely times in my past when, well, I'd say a lot of the time in my past where, like, the woman was the validation of who I was and what my value was as a person. Like, the more people I slept with, the better. The more attractive they were, the better. The more educated they were, the better. The more businesses they had, the better, right? And so I was always, like, trying to climb this weird dating ladder of hierarchy. It was stupid. And it was fun, too. You know, it's not like it didn't change my life in meaningful ways. You know, because it was good for me in the sense that over the last year, facing my own isolation from COVID and being out here in the middle of nowhere, I realized these women that I thought were way outside my league, like, they saw something in me that was desirable and valuable. Otherwise, why would they waste their time with me? You know, I mean, yeah, I was good in bed and stuff, but, like, they're so busy with life, they're not going to waste time, you know, on a fuckboy, as far as I understand. And maybe one or two would, but not all of them, you know. And so, for whatever reason, facing my loneliness and separation over the past couple years, the things they would say to me that were compliments are finally sinking in, right? Like, I'm starting to trust what they have to say because I'm facing my distrust issues with women. And now that that distrust issue is being addressed, I can hear what women are saying, and it's nurturing. Like, it supports me, right? But not in the way like I talked about before. Like, I still have my own inner core of love and support that I rely on. But she's able to, like, they're able to add to my life now in a way that wasn't available before to me because I was so shut off. That's the thing you gotta look out for, is these attachments, the selfishness to a word, as simple as, is this a date? Well, like, you know, like, all those things I just talked about are underneath that word. And so if we start putting labels on things as we experience life, we're just carrying past baggage into this new relationship. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's stupid. Why would we do that? But that's what we do. We're people, you know, and it's all over Hollywood and the internet and social media and everything. So it's common, but just because it's common doesn't mean it's right or that it works, right? Like, I see it as a common failure. I really haven't seen a lot of relationships in my life that I sought after, like, what they had. Like, maybe one or two. So, you know, like, we're probably fucking up somewhere as a society. Food for thought. But thanks for joining me. This is I don't know. I kind of want to call this my first official Curiostic video because tomorrow I have job interviews with people and I'm going to start slinging art. And they're going to get 40% commission, and I'm going to let them judge how much they want to sell it for. Like, there's a bottom line. You got to hit this bottom line. Anything above that, like, go for it. You get 40%. So I'm really excited about that. There's more people responding to that job ad as an art salesman as the one that I have that's a six-figure salesman for insurance estimating. Like, it's ridiculous. I haven't gotten a single reply to that one. And that one, like, it builds passive income and everything. But anyway, I guess that's life telling me, like, maybe I should focus on art, right? So, appreciate you guys being here. We'll see you again. Fuck, who knows? Like, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. God, what? Yeah, we'll find out.